Here we have yet another dumb broad here on YouTube that's managed to build a following off of pathetic simps that like to watch her videos on mute while they goon. She is a bit horse-faced, but I don't want to focus too much on her looks because the content of her character is so much more horse-faced than her face even is. It's like her brain is horse-mogging her face.
A lot of men, the things that they do are for the approval of other men because we live in a patriarchal society. Even them wanting like a beautiful woman is because it signals some inherent value that they hold to other men.
I'm sure some of y'all have seen this chick popping up on your feed lately. She goes by Yumiverse. I think that's how you say it. And of course, her channel has been growing rapidly ever since she started. She makes videos with titles designed to lure in simps. She's kind of like Kira Lotan in that regard. She has videos titled Why I Like Men Who Are Losers, Why I'm Attracted to Autistic Men. You know, classic pandering, classic gaslighting. If you actually watch the videos, which is hard to do, but if you actually watch the videos and you make it through, it is very clear that what she actually means when she says she's attracted to autistic men, what she actually means is she's attracted to good-looking men with the teeniest, tiniest amount of autistic traits. But Yumi's whole thing is that she talks about gooning a lot and she tries to be funny, but her style of humor is this thing you see with a lot of young women where their idea of peak comedy is just talking really fast in a loud voice. I would describe her humor as basically a mix of early 2000s XD, Spork, OMG, so random, I'm so random, mixed with Amy Schumer style comedy where all she talks about is sex, but she does it in a semi-self-deprecating way, which, by the way, self-deprecating humor doesn't work if you're not actually struggling in the sense that you're making the joke about. Like, if an attractive guy tries to make self-deprecating jokes about his appearance the way that someone like Louis C.K. might, it's not funny because he's good looking. Like, you know what I mean? So when a woman makes self-deprecating jokes about her sex life, not funny. Not funny at all. I've noticed that's what pretty much all female stand-up comedians do. South Park explained it pretty well if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Just do women's comedy stuff, talk about how fat you are and how you want to have sex with guys and then say, my vagina a lot.
There's a reason why every female comedian constantly talks about their sex life. It's the same reason every female YouTuber constantly panders to lonely men. They do it because it gets views and it lures in the simps. But Yumiverse also does a lot of gaslighting. Like most women, she seems to think she understands dating dynamics. Like, she has a really good grasp on what loser men like me need to be doing in order to attract women. I don't know if it's just because they always have success in dating, so they think that makes them experts, or what, I don't know. But as I'm sure you could imagine, she is absolutely clueless when it comes to the reasons why certain men are struggling. Let's take a look at her video titled, Watch This If You're Mid, in which she tries to give advice on how men can make themselves more attractive to women.
I think if men knew these little tips and they could implement them, specifically mid men, I think that they would find a lot more success in dating. The first tip I have is scent. A good cologne can take a man who is a like a 6.5, skyrocket him to like an 8 immediately. A good cologne will do that.
Okay, so right off the bat, we can see just how bad the gaslighting is. Or I don't know if this is gaslighting. It's hard for me to imagine that someone could be this lacking in self-awareness that she would actually believe that wearing cologne could be a needle mover for a man. But I think that might be what we're seeing here. So I don't know if this is intentional gaslighting. I think she might just be really ignorant. But the thing you got to keep in mind, and this is apparent as soon as you see a chick like this start talking about freaking cologne as if that's useful advice at all. The thing is, you can tell as she's giving this advice She's only thinking about men she's already attracted to. She's thinking about how she thinks it's extra hot when Chad's wearing a nice cologne versus when Chad isn't wearing cologne. Or she's just thinking about a specific hot guy that she got pumped and dumped by, and she liked the cologne he was wearing. I'm sure women might prefer for a man they're dating to have a nice scent, but no amount of YSL cologne is going to get the woman attracted to you in the first place. It's like what I always say about the just be confident, bro advice. When an unattractive man acts confident, they get offended by it. It's offensive to women. It's the same thing here. I guarantee it. If an unattractive man wears a woman's favorite cologne, it's not going to make her attracted to him. It's going to make her think, where does this loser get off smelling like that, trying to act like he's cool? They get offended by an ugly man trying to do attractive man things. She's framing this advice like it's for men that are mid, but just know that when she talks about a man being mid, what she means is an attractive guy that's not as attractive as she wishes she could get. This chick isn't going for guys that are actually at the median in terms of attractiveness. She's not talking about actually average-looking guys. Average-looking guys are invisible to women. She's talking about good-looking guys only. But even then, scent is a non-factor. This is just bullshit. A nice cologne is not taking a guy from a 6.5 to an 8. Also, notice right there, she's framing this advice as if it's for quote-unquote mid men, and then immediately reveals she's talking about guys that are a 6.5 out of 10. That's not mid. Mid means middle. 5. Mid is a 5 out of 10. A 6.5 out of 10, no matter what you're talking about, you could be talking about movies, music, whatever, 6.5 out of 10 is decisively above average.
My next tip that I have for you, my next piece of insider knowledge, tip well. It is so ugly. It's fugly when a guy doesn't tip well. It immediately makes him more unattractive. Like, I'm sorry, but it does.
Shut up, you moron. Look, I know that most women are bleeding hearts. There was actually some study recently I heard about where they scanned men and women's brains to see how they reacted to two different situations. The first situation was when a person that was cheating at a game received an electric shock. And the second situation was when a person that was playing fair at the game received an electric shock. I don't think they were actually shocking people, but that's what the people having their brains scanned were led to believe. So basically, the result was men only felt sympathy when the people playing fair got shocked. But women showed the same amount of sympathy for cheaters as they did for the people that were playing fair. Now, I'm hesitant to trust any study that involves brain scans. I'm not going to get into it here, but most brain scan studies are just bullshit, so take that for what it is. But nothing about that result is surprising. Women just want everyone to be nice and nobody to get hurt, and just be nice. Make sure you leave a big tip. Make sure you give away a significant portion of your hard-earned money to somebody that doesn't deserve it any more than you do. Be sure to give away your own damn money voluntarily to somebody that probably didn't even do a good job after you already just got fleeced on the price of the food. I mean, it's one thing to tip at a sit-down restaurant. Even that is bullshit, but, it's whatever. People act like you're stomping on a kitten when you don't tip, so whatever. I do it. But she even says you should be tipping at a smoothie shop.
Oh my god, if you're on a date with a girl and you're getting, fucking smoothies to go, and they flip over that damn iPad and the options are robbing you because the person at the cashier didn't do shit. I know it's annoying. I don't give a fuck. Women are looking. If you are tipping on the iPad, We're watching and seeing which one you select. And if you select no tip, it automatically is a no. I'm sorry, that makes you ugly as fuck, because it's like it just makes me feel like you're not a generous person. And
It's crazy how she even says she knows they don't deserve the tip, but she still gets the ick when a guy doesn't tip anyways. It's ridiculous. It only takes about one extra step of logic to come to the conclusion that actually, when you tip at the smoothie shop or the ice cream shop or whatever, that's actually bad. It's morally wrong to do that, to tip. Not tipping is the morally right thing to do. Because when you tip in those situations, you're supporting the ever-shifting, ever-growing Overton window of what types of services society expects you to tip for. Inflation is already out of control. If you want to help people that are struggling financially, if you actually care about these people, you need to do maybe one more step of logic and realize when you support that system, you're making it so more and more poor people can't afford things that used to be affordable, because now they feel like they have to tip on top of the already outrageous prices. If you're retarded like this broad is, and you're only capable of thinking about things you see directly in front of your face, then yeah, all you see is a low-wage cashier and you think, oh my God, help her, help the poor wagey. But if you think about things just one step deeper, just one more little step in the logic chain, you realize, well, if I support this ever-widening window of bullshit we have to tip for, that's just making life less affordable for all the other people struggling in low-wage positions that don't get tips. Nobody gives a shit about the cashier at the gas station. Why don't you tip that guy? You don't have to wait for them to ask. You know you can just tip any worker, anywhere, anytime. But you don't. You weak-minded moron. You don't actually believe in your own values. But who cares? You know, the thing is, she's saying this as if this is advice that's going to make an average man more attractive to women. And just think about this. Her advice to help men attract women is to let them see you tip well when you're already on a date with a woman. Do you see the problem there? If you're already on a date, then I guess you didn't need the advice. Yumi, listen to me. There are very, very few men where the point where they're struggling is after they already got the girl to go out with them. That's the hard part, getting a girl attracted to you in the first place. That's the part that men are struggling with. We can't even get a woman to go out with us. And I promise you, if a woman is already on a date with me, she's not going to give a hoot whether or not I tip the cashier at TCBY. And also, you know, I am desperate for female affection. I am. I'm touch-starved. I'm freaking suffering over here. But if a woman has a problem with me not tipping for some bullshit counter-served treats, then good riddance. She's obviously an idiot that doesn't even have a functioning sense of morality. By the way, this is autism, Yumi. This, what you're witnessing right now, if you're listening to this is real autism. You made a video about how you're attracted to autistic men. Sweetie, autistic men do not support tipping, and they certainly do not support the ever-changing standards behind tipping culture. That's like kryptonite to autistic people. Autistic men do not like things that are not very well defined. They do not like cultural practices that change every other week. How are you going to say you're attracted to autistic men, then talk about how it gives you the ick when a man doesn't tip for a drink? Zero self-awareness. Zero. You know damn well if the hot guy you matched with on Bumble spits in the cashier's face, you would probably still spit on his dingaling in the car right after you finish your strawberry mocha double berry matcha kale latte. You know damn well. Stop with the gaslighting. Okay, the third piece of advice she gives in this video is that men should wear accessories like a watch or a ring. Dumb. Like, what else can you say? It's just stupid. The one piece of advice she gives actually pertaining to a man's appearance is to wear a watch. I think it's probably better to wear a decent watch than to not wear one, but that's a very small thing. Again, you can just tell she's saying this is for mid men, but what she's actually picturing in her head is guys that she already finds attractive. If I start wearing a bunch of rings and shit like Hassan Piker, it's not going to make me any more attractive. It's going to make me look retarded. Also, I'm 37 years old. I'm sure to a girl like Yumi, that means I don't even exist. So I know she's not talking to me, but just imagine a 37-year-old man wearing any kind of ring that's not a wedding band. Might as well dress full-on goth if you're going to try to peacock like that. Reminds me of the pickup artists back in the day like Mystery that would dress like clowns with their fuzzy hats and their purple vests and shit. There is a maximum age at which wearing superfluous rings as a man is socially acceptable. And that age is somewhere around 23, 24 maybe. But older guys like me are invisible to women by default, unless we look like Henry Cavill or something. So it's wear accessories? Shut up, it's stupid. Yumiverse is a lot like these other female grifters we see all over YouTube that rapidly build these massive audiences specifically by targeting simps, making the title of the video something that they know will appeal to desperate men. There's 3 primary ways that women do this, and Yumiverse exploits 2 of those strategies to full effect. The first is she'll overtly sexualize herself. She makes videos with titles like The Science of Female Gooning, Books I've Gooned To, Ranking Words for Coochie. She knows dudes will click because she puts herself front and center in the thumbnail, being a young woman that's not fat, and she's making the title sexual, so desperate dudes are bound to click on it because, of course, they already got their zipper down by the time the video starts because she titled the video in a way as to intentionally elicit that response. Guys click on the video because they want to watch this young female talk about diddling herself. And it's funny how she obviously knows what she's doing. The vast majority of her videos are made explicitly for men. Yet she also likes to complain about how her audience is like 90% male. As if she doesn't know exactly why that is. As if she wasn't obviously pandering to the male demographic.
I was checking my YouTube analytics 2 days ago, and I came to the devastating, life-altering realization that 92% of my audience is men. And it's incredibly frustrating because I feel like my content isn't made for them. Actually, no, it's not that I feel that way. It's that it's just simply not. Like, my content isn't for men.
Yumi, darling, you know exactly why your audience is 90% male. I'm surprised you even have 10% females in your audience. But listen, it's not just that she's making content for men. Some of her videos could be for people of either gender. But here's the thing. If she made content that was interesting, if she expressed a unique viewpoint, or maybe if she shared some valuable information, or even if she just made videos that were entertaining in some way, if that were the case, then she would have more women in her audience. But her audience is predominantly men because her videos are not interesting. It's actually kind of hard to listen to. But her videos are entertaining to a chronically lonely man that's 3.5 hours deep into a goon session. At some point, you've seen every Kira Lotan video 100 times already. You've watched all the Pokimane highlights ad nauseum. At some point, it makes sense that you'd see this girl on the sidebar with an explicitly sexual title talking about how she's gooning, and you think, all right, let's give this a shot. That's who your audience is, Yumi, in case you didn't know.
It's not for you. You get what I mean? Like, it's like, when I make content, It's not for men, it's for women.
Come on. Come on. When you made the video titled The Science of Female Gooning, that was for women? You made that for women. I mean, the other video I already reacted to, the whole video was literally just her giving advice to men. And these videos like why I'm attracted to autistic men, why I like men who are losers, you weren't trying to get men to click on that? What about this video? Books I've gooned to. You made that video with that title for women? You made that for women? Shut up. And I'll just throw this up on the screen for a minute. This is her profile picture on Twitch. Seriously, that's her profile picture. And yes, I did need to censor it just to be safe. It's probably too explicit for YouTube. I know you can't tell since I had to censor it, but she's got it poked up, okay? She's got it on display in a provocative manner. Now, let me ask you, is this the profile picture of a woman that makes content for other women? Because this looks like it could be your profile picture on OnlyFans. So, yeah, like I was saying, one strategy she uses is she makes videos with overtly sexual titles, but the other strategy she uses to attract a simp audience is she tries to appear empathetic. She tries to portray herself as one of the rare women that actually understands men and sympathizes with men's struggles, which really, this is just the purest form of pandering, just throwing them some red meat. I know I've already mentioned her videos about how she just loves autistic men and she loves loser men, which is obviously not true. But she also has videos like, I understand I words and is my life easier as a woman? A video in which she says that, yeah, basically her life is easier as a woman, which is true, but coming from her, taking into account the context that is the full body of her work, she's obviously pandering. This is Kira Lotan all over again, just a lot more horse-faced. A few days ago, Yumiverse managed to accomplish something truly incredible. She used both of her pandering strategies in one single video title, which, props for that. I'm sitting here ready to goon and nod my head in agreement simultaneously to this one. The video's called I Goon to Intellect. Let's see what she had to say. And I'll go ahead and say before we begin, my biggest issue with this chick is just that she thinks she's funny. Most of the things she talks about, she's not really being too serious, but it's just so hard to listen to. I'm sorry that I even exposed this to you all, but anyways, let's see what she has to say about gooning to intellect.
So I consider myself what is known as a sapiosexual, which essentially means that I have to be attracted to someone's intelligence to find them sexually attractive at all.
The premise of the video is that she's a sapiosexual, which is a word used to describe a fake condition or orientation or whatever. It's fake either way. But basically it just means you can't be attracted to someone unless they're intelligent, which might be the dumbest shit a person could possibly believe in. It's ironic too, because if you say that you're sapiosexual, then you're immediately proving that you don't even have the capacity to determine whether or not another person is intelligent, because you yourself are obviously a dumbass.
Something about a man who's smart, who's intelligent, is incredibly attracted to me. And it's like, it's a prerequisite for me to be attracted to someone. And this is like such a deal breaker for me that there have been, really, really attractive men that I've matched with on dating apps. I'll be like, oh my God, they're super hot. But then I start talking to them and they give me some grammatical error. And then I'm just genuinely like, I can't fucking do that shit anymore. Like, I'm sorry, you gotta go.
Almost immediately, not even a minute into the video, she's already contradicted herself. She said that a man being intelligent is a prerequisite for her to be attracted to someone. Then she goes on to say, there's been really, really attractive men I matched with on dating apps that blah, 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 they were stupid, or whatever she said. Okay, so right there, she said she found them really attractive and matched with them on the apps because of their looks. So is intelligence a prerequisite or not? Why are you even matching with hot guys on Tinder? Shouldn't you just be going off what it says in their bio? Are you a sapiosexual or not? Make up your mind. Okay, I'm not going to critique this particular video too much. I don't think she's really trying to be serious. She's just trying to be funny. This is just an average female's idea of what's funny. Just yapping about some bullshit. It's hard to listen to. But make no mistake about it, this is gaslighting. There is no way in hell that this chick doesn't know that she values looks over intelligence. There's no way. There's a whole lot of super intelligent, super autistic men out there that I'm sure she could find them if she really wanted to. And those guys would love to let this little Asian shawty goon to their intellect. They would love it. They would love her. But do you think she's actually dating guys like that? I see a girl like this and I can just tell, I guarantee you, this chick's idea of an intelligent autistic man is a guy that talks like he just smoked pot for the first time at 15 years old. Bro, what if the color you see as red is what I see as blue? Bro, wouldn't that be crazy? That's her idea of intelligent discussion.
It's so hot when a guy reads to me. I'm gooning to the idea of a man reading. I think there's an Instagram account. It's literally called Hot Guys Reading, and it's just like a compilation of like candidates of hot men reading in public. And that's because reading is incredibly fucking attractive.
See, this is what I'm talking about. She's just dumb. The reason there's a popular Instagram account full of pictures of hot guys reading is because it's pictures of hot guys. They aren't hot because they're reading. She's not a sapiosexual. She's not attracted primarily to a man's intelligence. She's attracted to hot guys that also read books. And the reading books part is just a bonus. The fact that they read, that's just her wish list item. The good looks, the physical appearance, that is the prerequisite. Otherwise, why isn't the account just pictures of any guy reading? Why's it got to be pictures of hot guys reading? Oh, yeah, duh. Because the guys being hot is the whole point. That's the whole point. Women like guys that are physically attractive, including you, Yumiverse.
A true intellectual man reads, Dostoevsky. He reads fucking Kafka. He's reading fucking Albert Camus. He's reading Aldous Huxley, Brave New World. Like, books like that.
Okay, now that's interesting, because I have read Brave New World, and I have read The Stranger by Camus, and I read at least the first 2 chapters of the brothers Karamazov, or however you say it. So, addressing Yumiverse directly here, do you want to... If you found this video insightful, or you just found it entertaining, please consider watching some of my other videos. There's also some secret videos you can watch for free on my Patreon, videos that YouTube apparently does not want you to see. So check that out, no sign up required. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.